Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning, and I'm a veteran of the professional wrestling business for over a decade, and I've held every single job except selling popcorn. I'm joined, as always, by a man that was bopping his head along to that snappy intro.
You killed it. You nailed it.
No mistakes this time, unlike last week.
One take Manning.
One take Manning, because I didn't look you in the eye.
That's
because
right.
if I look you in the eye, I know that you're going to steal my soul,
Yep.
and I can't allow that to happen.
I'm going to take it from you.
You've
stolen mine. I think it's only fair now.
Yeah. After last week?
Definitely after this week, too.
Well, this week will definitely steal a man's soul.
Fucking Lord. Fuck. You like this show?
Fucking love it.
God.
I loved every minute of this.
Jesus.
I loved every minute of this. Why you keep looking over?
I don't know. I just noticed you had all those Ninja Turtles for the first time. So,
you're trying to avoid the topic of discussion.
Yeah, I mean, if I could just somehow skip it,
not do this episode.
Yeah, if I could have pulled off a fucking bin and just not watched part of it.
Yeah, you only watched 3/4 of the show, and then well, that's okay. I would have done what I did to Ben and just sat you down in front of the computer and watched the rest of it while we wait for you.
I actually watched it. Like, there was so much traffic to get here. I watched like over half of it in the car on the way over here. So
well, but what did I fucking tell you? Is fucking dem shits is only fucking 42 minutes long.
Well, mine also had ads that I couldn't skip.
Yeah.
And so that sucked. They went off every 5 minutes, and they weren't lined up with the actual commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
It's all sorts of fuck. Mm-hmm. But go ahead, we'll finish this little introduction, and we'll get to it. I mean,
basically our topic of discussion, we'll watch the Baywatch episode.
Fuck.
And part of the reason why we're doing this is people are like, man, you're doing another Baywatch episode? I went back and looked at our SoundCloud numbers. Want to know what our fucking top listened to episodes are?
Not really, but go on.
Ones where we talk about fucking Baywatch, okay?
Jesus.
So
Baywatch and Baywatch?
Yes.
For those keeping score at home, this is the third Baywatch thing we've done in a couple months.
Motherfucker, we are very close to turning this into a Baywatch podcast. We are very
Zane
close.
and Jake watch Baywatch?
Because it is the disparity between our non-Baywatch episodes and our Baywatch episodes, especially on SoundCloud. So I can only imagine what they're doing on Apple Podcasts. But what is going down at Apple Podcast is we have a new champion sitting on top of the review poll, and that is Nick Olesa. That is the same Nick Olesa who is Nick Alexander from 10 Bell Pod, a podcast that is not a traitorous and murderous podcast.
Fuck, I ain't even done that podcast in a while.
Oh yeah, it's
dead.
Oh no, it's a real thing. It's not.
It's still there. Like, it's still getting views and likes and stuff.
Yeah, it still exists.
Yeah, I'm still paying $20 a month for it. I might as well.
Might as well plug it.
Yep.
It's content.
Yeah, I got this content going on over here, guys.
But Nick Alexander, he's sitting on top of the whole Apple Podcast, and all he did was just copy and paste the word "what" 100 times.
Now I thought about this last time we talked about it a moment ago, but. So, and Nick, you can maybe answer this if you listen or if you don't, whatever. Did he copy and paste what individually 100 times? Or did he write one, like what, and then write it like maybe 2 or 3 times and then copied that and then so now we've got, he copy-pasted that, now we've got 6, now we copy the 6, now we've got 12 when we paste that, and so on and so forth?
I think what he did, because the first what is capitalized, then the second what is not capitalized, then he copy and paste that, and then paste. Wow. Paste. That's what it looks like to me.
Ooh. So really, Nick, if you could just kind of toss us an answer whenever you get a minute.
Just whenever. And
I need to know the psychology of this stupidity.
And slide into my DMs and let me know your shirt size and your mailing address, because that's what I owe you for leaving a review, and a review that just says what 100 times 5 stars.
5 stars.
And you don't need to give us 5 stars.
Yeah.
You can
or put 100 words.
You can just copy and paste How to This Good Book. You could copy and paste the name of the show. You could have posted 12 reviews by this moment in time, and you would be entitled to a free t-shirt by just sliding into my DMs, leaving your shirt size and your mailing address, and I would get it out to you immediately.
Was there punctuation after the what? Was it question mark? Was it just straight up?
Just straight what?
Fucking.
That's all. It helps with the algorithm. That's all. That's the only reason we ask. We are not asking you to join a Patreon. We're not selling.
Not like some other podcasts will.
Nope. We will not do that. Not here. We do have ads. We do have ads later on. I know we didn't discuss it, but don't worry. When we get to it, we will get to it.
Okay. Hey, baby.
We will get to our ad of the day.
Yeah.
And that's the most we will ever do to this podcast.
Yeah.
We're not going to demand you to join Patreon or anything else. Just leave a review, and we're going to give you a free t-shirt, much like I've probably already given a free t-shirt to Gabriel Kidd, if I'm not mistaken. He is sitting at the top of the poll of Stitcher. So thank you very much for that, you guys, for leaving reviews. It helps out tremendously. That's all we're asking for. It's just a little bit of your time. It's kind of been a little bit dead as far as the reviews go, so I'm hoping that kind of spikes back up to help with that algorithm so we can get to the top of the charts, especially around the holiday season as people are traveling and they're looking for some really good entertainment on their way home.
Try not to off themselves.
Yes, well, all those things.
Yep.
So I don't have to do another dead grandma episode at Christmas time. That would be appreciated. Again,
you got any more grandmas left? Are we out of dead grandmas?
I got one. I got one left.
So you can at least wait a year.
I got one. So, but
or hope they make Santa Sleigh 2.
Don't worry, we'll watch a Ms. Christmas movie. That won't make me feel depressed at all.
No, not at all.
But what doesn't make me feel depressed,
Jesus fuck,
is the topic of discussion today.
Yeah,
which is the Baywatch episode entitled "Blindside" from season 4, episode 4. It debuted October 4th, the year of our Lord, 1993, starring one of the greatest actors of our generation, David Hasselhoff.
Giant Gonzalez.
David Hasselhoff as Mitch Buchanan. Now, obviously, at this moment in time, not everybody in the cast appears in this episode. We have this is the era of Baywatch where we have Nicole Eggert as Summer Quinn. We have the Matt Brody character. We have Lieutenant Stephanie Holden as always. We have Garner.
The black dude on the motorcycle is never there.
But trust me, he's definitely there on Baywatch nights.
Yeah, oh good.
Yeah.
Is he getting it in?
That gets it in.
Good for him.
He gets it in. He's just as prominent as David Hasselhoff.
Ooh.
Yeah. But we do see Jeremy Jackson Hobie, probably a fixture of this episode. Also, too, Pam Anderson, C.J. Parker.
Yeah, we do
all
get that.
over this episode.
Her amazing acting abilities. Where does this fall in relation to the other episode that we watched? Is this before that or after that?
This is, I believe, no, this is definitely before because this is 1983.
Okay.
I believe it was 95, 96 because it was from Bash at the Beach, 1995.
Okay.
Is when the WCW pay-per-view happened, but then of course it aired much later because Vader was already in the WWF at the time, so 1996. So this is 3 years earlier, but this is the beginning of the sweet spot of Baywatch.
Wait, it took them 4 seasons to get to the sweet spot?
Well, this brings it to another discussion I was going to get into a little bit later on. Baywatch originally started as an NBC series.
Okay.
For a couple seasons, and it was much more
NBC-ish.
Yeah, it was more like action, adventure, and
less tits.
Yes, far less tits. They had Parker Stevenson. They had 2 male lifeguards. It was more about 2 male lifeguards, and they just had a few women on there. And then all of a sudden, when it's syndication, let's get some tits in this fucking place, and they didn't fucking look back.
Nope.
And that's what their calling card was. Is just
it'd be
sex,
better. It's great better than
sex.
these tits. Let's put these tits in slow mo.
Also, too. Not just tits, but also good-looking guys.
Yeah,
they had.
He could have done it with a little bit more hog action. Don't get me wrong.
They had average-looking dudes.
Yeah.
On the NBC show, but when they got the syndication, when you got the David Chokachi, oh fucking hell, man!
Yeah,
and then
NBC didn't want you to be intimidated by the men on there. You can't have these stud dudes and these hot chicks. No, I think I could fuck these girls. I look better than that lifeguard.
Yeah, and actually the only stud dude they had in the NBC series was actually the guy who played John D. Court. This is a character that came back from the early. A couple of seasons runs. He was just kind of a background guy, played by John Allen Nelson, but he was a part of the NBC run, and he actually had an episode where he got trapped underneath an underwater cave with Parker Stevens' character, and I think one of them died, and obviously it wasn't John D. Court, as he's here. Also on the NBC series, they had Erica Leniak, who actually made an appearance in Boone the Bounty Hunter, John Morrison's piece. Makes me want to watch Boone.
Great.
which we may, you know,
might as well. I mean,
we might as well. That's what this fucking show's about. And it's the Baywatch connection. So obviously that episode is going to climb up the charts of SoundCloud. Also, too, in this episode is a guy by the name of Zach Norman who plays Valdez. Mm-hmm. Zach Norman is one of the bad guys from Romancing the Stone. Yeah. Are you familiar with
I do know what that is. He does not look like a Valdez at all.
No.
He is a white man. As you can tell by the last name, Norman.
Mm-hmm. But he kind of plays our Harvey Whippleman character.
Our slave driver.
Because he is in charge of Manny, who is played by Jorge Gonzalez. Giant Gonzalez, who this episode comes out, believe it or not.
Don't. I don't believe it. Already.
Just a few days before he's released by WWE.
Oh, like WWE, you gotta keep that bodysuit.
Well, that's a funny thing. I saw this episode before because I wasn't able to watch WWF at this time because it was very much like a cable thing. Raw was on USA Network. I did not have USA Network. This was before DirecTV. Still another year before I have DirecTV. But I definitely sure as shit was watching Baywatch at this time.
Yeah.
And sure as shit recognized him from wrestling magazines. So I was aware of him. So when I saw him in the fucking airbrushed muscled suit with fur on it, I'm like, oh yeah, fucking Carnival Freak Show strongman.
Yeah.
So when I saw the VHS tape of WrestleMania 9, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. He's a Carnival Freak Show large man. Giant. But people were like, I don't understand with this thing. I'm like, no. Didn't you guys watch the Baywatch episode?
Guys, seriously.
Even though the Baywatch episode came out well after his whole fucking run, that's what they were fucking going for, but nobody's ever explained that. No. So I cracked the fucking code.
There you are.
There you go. It's because
and that's what this podcast is really about.
That's why he fucking wore the suit that he did in the WWF when he was feuding with The Undertaker, because it's Carnival, big man, fucking giant type fucking attire. That's what they were going for with Giant Gonzalez. So there's your fucking explanation why.
In case you guys are curious.
In case you guys are fucking curious. Because Vince McMahon is obsessed with the carnivals, like low key.
And Baywatch.
As we can tell, because we have still not done all of the Wrestler Baywatch episodes. Wait till we get to the Shawn Michaels, Debbie Reynolds episode.
Bless it.
You
I'll wait.
It's already blessed. It's already blessed.
It's called Baywatch.
Okay. And as you can tell by the sweet fucking intro of Baywatch, which I said before on previous episodes, I used to do like Mystery Science Theater commentary on the intro, like when they would like, I'm always ready, I'm always out of and then all of a sudden like something like there'll be a shot of like David Hasselhoff running and I'm like, oh, I wasn't ready for that. And then a shot of Pam Anderson, I'm like, oh, I was ready for that. So I would always make little fucking jokes on just the intro of Baywatch. So fucking loved it. Every time I see this intro, it gets me super fucking excited. Cool. And my excitement never fucking ceased during this entire fucking episode. Like I said, this is like right before the sweet spot of the entire series. And we kick the whole thing off with a man riding a motorbike on the beach, which we know is not legal.
No.
But you can apparently ride a horse.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah, that's like a small fucking dinosaur that can kick fucking kids in the head. Yeah. That's no problem.
Yep.
Because it's just a fucking beast that just does whatever the fuck it wants.
It's shitting everywhere. That motorcycle didn't poop on anything.
This is very true. But John D. Cord is the one riding the horse and comes in to save the day. And
Pam Anderson didn't need no saving.
Well, and that's it, and that's the thing too. Like they have some sort of thing, and like I had to look back in the IMDb because that switch over from NBC to like syndication. It's very muddled. A lot of the characters are very muddled, and I don't know if there was actually an on-screen thing with John D. Cord and C.J. Parker. I don't know if that was ever like on camera. I think it was just something that was just invented
for this backstory.
Okay. To tell what we needed to tell here, because I think the whole reason that CJ got involved with being a lifeguard is that there was like a big 2-parter, and she was like some river rafting guide, and she helped him out, and they're like, oh, you're pretty handy, you should be a lifeguard. And she's like, okay, I'll go do that. And then it was like a season finale, and then the next season she was a part of the cast. I think she was debuted at the end of one season and then John D. Cord was also in that same episode, but I don't know if they had a thing going on. Like I said, it's very muddled. We're getting into the sweet spot. We're getting into when I'm sorry. Are you still on the podcast?
I mean, arguably.
Okay, all right. But we'll get into the wrestling part. Maybe that'll pull you back in.
It won't.
Okay.
Actually, the Giant Gonzalez stuff was awesome.
Yeah, because we get to see Manuel, the Argentinian giant.
Yeah.
The Hoff is he's just like very much like, what, giants don't exist? Like, motherfucker, do you not believe that tall people exist? Like, you could, like...
You think you're the tallest man alive, David Hasselhoff?
Yeah, that's what he thinks. Like, if you took Mitch Buchanan to see the NBA, he'd be like, what are these fucking giants? What? I didn't know that these giants named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar exist. Oh, my goodness.
He's also super fucking cheap because he doesn't want to break off $1 to see this giant.
No, to prove... To find out if actually giant people are alive. Like,
yeah.
Now, granted, there's no Kareem at the time, so he'd be like, what? Vlade Divac? What?
Yeah. Good pull. Good pull.
I know my early 90s Lakers, okay? I'm surprised Byron Scott didn't come walking by. I'm sure Michael Cooper would have treated Manuel a lot better. But anyways, Giant Gonzalez wearing the WWF suit.
Like you should.
And like I said, this show came out at like days before he was released with WWF. Like WWF, early 90s, hurting for money and cash and whatever they can do to get in the mainstream as much as possible. They have a character that's going to appear on Baywatch, which is getting close to being one of the most successful TV shows in the world. And they can't hang on to that motherfucker for another couple months to get some publicity out of it. That's how bad Giant Gonzalez was in the ring. I can only believe that's why.
Yeah, no, he was god-awful.
I mean,
it's not like he was a better actor, but...
That's a debatable point.
It's not. I'm sure it's not.
Okay.
Have you seen the episode of Baywatch?
I have, and I am still perplexed on what is a lifeguard's jurisdiction, because Mitch Buchanan pulls out his badge and is like, I need to see a permit. Like, wait a minute. Like,
it's on the dock. It's part of the beach.
Okay, all right. I mean, but it's they always play very loosey-goosey.
Yeah. No, I'm sure he had no jurisdiction here. He was just like, all right, free throw shot. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Shotgun effect. And
I like how he's like, oh, we can't do anything. He's got a permit.
I like that does not believe in giants.
Yeah.
Pays $1 he does not want to spend. Sees giant, unimpressed with giant. Going to save the day now. I don't understand how we go through these gamuts so
that's
quickly.
Because that's how the fucking Hoff works, my friend.
He's like, oh, you mean a tall person? Oh. So it leads me to believe he doesn't know what the word giant means.
Yeah, okay, I'll buy that. I can see Mitch Buchanan not understanding what giant is.
Though, one of my favorite parts of this whole episode is right here where the kid tries to give Giant Gonzalez a snow cone. And like for a second, he looks at it really sadly and then reaches his hand out, but doesn't take the snow cone. But all I want in the world now is a T-shirt of that one still shot of snow cone and cage, Giant Gonzalez sad but reaching for it, and that's it. I just want that on a T-shirt, and I feel like, it'd be complete. I can go ahead and cash out after that.
I know it should be written on that shirt, but we're not there yet.
Not there yet.
I want to get to it, okay. And I'm going to tell you, I've got to design some more shirts for the end of the year. Like you're going to like this new
in the black and white stylings of like the John Lennon New York City shirt.
Okay, all right. We'll get
talk
to that.
about it.
We'll talk about it because I already know it should be on that shirt, and I don't want to ruin where we're at because we're not there yet. But I do want to talk about how Mitch Buchanan's like, well, he's got a permit.
Yep.
What does that fucking permit say? Like, I can keep a human being in a fucking cage?
Well, he's established that he can open the cage if he wants to, because he yells at him for not chasing the kids.
Okay.
So, I mean... But then again, like... he called him stupid, so you're gonna fucking go after him? But that guy's like 5'2". Giant Gonzalez is a giant, and I know you don't know what that means, but I think he can handle himself when need be.
No.
But yeah, just, Hoff thinking everybody needs saving.
I know. But who does need saving is John Court from this fucking double entendre when he says, "Don't make me pull out my branding iron."
Whoa.
That falls in the Mark Madden category. If you remember from last week.
We talk about your dick or like real branding iron, brother. You dress like a cowboy.
Also, too, we find out that Court is back to get his 10-day certification to be a lifeguard.
He's got to do his obligatory 10 days.
Yes, to keep his certification, which is the thing. I was certified as a lifeguard, and I had to do that. So you had to do it every year at least. But then that's like also kind of weird. Like, does that mean he did his 10 days somewhere else, or this has been a year, or what? I mean,
I thought this was the beginning of his 10 days.
Yeah, it's the beginning of his 10 days, but does he just his 10 days every year, every 3 years?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because it seems like it's been a while since he's seen CJ.
Well, then I'm sure he's somewhere else, because even at one point he talks about, well, I'll just go be a lifeguard elsewhere.
Okay.
Leads me to believe that he at one point was a lifeguard elsewhere.
Okay. So
he knows he can do that.
Okay. Once again, we're very fuzzy on what lifeguards
are.
About a show about lifeguards.
About
very loosey-goosey. Very loosey-goosey. Very loosey-goosey.
I don't know jurisdictions.
But this is where
because there seems to be 0 police officers.
Oh, yeah. Like, they refer to him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't come in.
Yeah, he's got a name.
Yeah, Garner. Like, we'll get Garner or send him to Garner. Yeah. Like, they reference Garner, but he never comes in, which is like a big rule of improv. Like, don't reference somebody who's not in the scene.
Yeah, can't get in there.
But Baywatch, we're breaking all those rules. Breaking all the rules.
There's slow-mo titties here.
Also, too, one of the biggest rules is if Michael fucking Newman sticks his hand out.
Holy fuck.
To shake your hand, you shake that man's fucking hand. And you as fucking stand-byers, if you see that, you stop everything. You don't just shrug your shoulders and be like, oh, well, he just didn't shake Newman's hand. No, fuck that. Michael Newman is a national fucking treasure. We stop this episode and we talk about what the fuck just happened here.
See, I thought he just had heat with him because I am not to the point yet. We have not come to the reveal. I was like, oh, he just fucking shit on this dude and smiled at him at the same time. This guy's hard fucking core.
Yeah, and it's Michael fucking Newman, as I've told you.
Not just a dude.
He's the fucking man. He was also a firefighter, a real life lifeguard. He's the fucking man. The fucking man. And I know he's had a bad stint of health, so send your prayers out to Michael Newman.
Shake his hand if you come across him.
Shake his goddamn hand. Shake it. Which that was odd that I said that because he has Parkinson's. I just...
Don't worry. We getting all sort of shitty puns here in a little bit. Don't worry. This shit's just begun.
I fucking love you, Michael Newman. Hobie, not so much.
Yeah,
but
fuck this little shit.
He starts hanging out with Giant Gonzalez. They find him underneath the pier.
You know where giants live.
Avery has a pelican. Hobie's friends think that he's going to eat the pelican, when in actuality, as Giant Gonzalez says, I love Holla House.
Holla, holla, holla.
I love Holla House. And, like, he's underneath the pier, had a good time with Hobie, and then all of a sudden, Latino Harvey Wilperman yells down at him. And then we cut to a montage of John D. Court, like, just checking out women very creepily.
Being real problematic.
And then missing a fucking rescue and then stumbling and bumbling around.
I love the cut between these little girls drowning and this guy's fuck idea of just like sexy music, 2 girls drowning, sexy music, hey, there's little children in that water drowning, sexy music, there's Pamela Anderson running, fast mo, so you know it's serious.
Serious. Real life, real time.
And then he just starts football tackling people, like...
And then checks on them.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. And then, of course, typical Baywatch fashion, we take a commercial break during CPR.
Yeah, I mean... What if this whole thing would have taken a weird turn if that kid would have died? Which, to me... I think that kid should have died because we need a serious moment to make this shit occur. There's no catalyst yet.
Absolutely. But it's Baywatch. We got to keep it light because sometimes this is on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You can't be killing kids at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Can't be doing that. Cannot be doing it. But what we can do is having Giant Gonzalez having a dialogue with Colombian Harvey Whippleman. Trust me, I have plenty of fucking lines like this.
And from what it looked like, he paid him like $7 for his day wages.
And he's just yelling at him about liking pelicans, and he's just like, I really like pelicans.
Yeah. he breaks his pelican.
Which I feel like the real tragedy, because Giant Gonzalez, Jorge Gonzalez, was a basketball player. And he was
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that? He was a basketball player. The Atlanta
couldn't run, couldn't really dribble much. They just chucked it to him. And
he was an Argentinian basketball player, and the Atlanta Hawks brought him in. And since Ted Turner owned the Hawks, they were like, let's see what we can do with him. And they realized he's not a good basketball player.
They're like, fucking nothing. Let's put him in a wrestling suit.
Exactly. That's exactly what they did. But I feel like if he, instead of playing for the Hawks, if he would have played for the New Orleans Pelicans,
he could come back.
He would find the love of the game.
Yeah.
So I think that's really the issue is. But I want to talk about what I really want to fucking talk about.
God damn it.
And it leads into another discussion. Excuse me. Is the shirt that Giant Gonzalez is wearing in this scene.
He's wearing a Big Dog t-shirt.
Which it says, "Got them big dog blues."
Yep.
Which,
for fat people like me, we know all about Big Dog.
And also another thing too about big dogs. That brings up to our sponsor of the day.
Jesus.
We have a sponsor that jumped on board. How did this get booked? Because if you got them big dog blues, make sure you pick up Doggy Prozac. Because sometimes life gets rough, even for your canine friend. And as we all know, Big Pharma is all about increasing their profit revenue. And because they've been killing all their customers with fentanyl, they realize that they need to up their customer base. And with people dying left and right because of Big Pharma, they're going to start prescribing your dog Prozac. And eventually we'll get to fentanyl and all the other dangerous drugs. But we got to start with Prozac. We got to make those dogs feel good. Zane, you're not a dog owner.
I am not a dog owner, but I do love dogs.
You do love dogs. And if they're sad and they're droopy and you see those old bloodhounds and they're down and they're out and they got their ears going down, how are you going to make them happy?
Well, at first I didn't know that I could, but then I found Puppy Prozac.
That's where you take Puppy Prozac. You just pop them in. And of course, you got to chew it, make sure they swallow.
I put mine in a scoop of peanut butter. It makes it go down a little bit better.
Yeah, crunch it up. That's what my mom used to do with me. So if it's good enough for me, it's good enough for your canine. Doggy Prozac. Because if you got them old big dog blues, and if life is rough, just have a Doggy Prozac.
Rough.
Thank you again for coming on and joining us, a sponsor.
Oh, thank you so much, Big Dog.
Thank you so much. You keep this podcast moving right along, and we're gonna move this episode.
Is there a promo code for anyone that finds it online?
We should. I thank you so much. I'm
no
sorry,
problem.
We haven't had a lot of issues. It's basically it is promo code. How did this get booked? Rough.
It's RUFF.
Yes, RUFF. It's how did this get booked? All one word, because it's not a HDTGB. No. It's how did this get booked? All one word.
That one was taken.
That was taken already. And also the word how did this get booked also
it was taken. It's weird. I don't understand.
And HDGIM that's already taken. So we just do how did this get booked? Rough. That is the promo code if you want to use it and go online and make sure you check that out and help us out tremendously. But tremendously. After his wooden pelican is destroyed,
fucking pelican,
Giant Gonzalez just nuzzles that wood pelican.
What the fuck?
To show you how much he loves pelicans.
He's a giant, but he's a gentle one.
He's so fucking gentle. But John T. Cord is not very gentle with his lies.
No,
he basically bullshits his way through the physical. Like how did he say? Oh, I took the physical. Like as if they're not going to check.
No, he was right. No, he did all that.
He did do the physical. Yeah.
But he got everything else right.
But he's fucking going blind as we
because they explain it later in the doctor's office.
Okay.
That he can see the gamut in which he can see is dead ahead, and that is 20/20. He has zero peripheral. So he's not able to see things that happen around it.
So
but if he's looking dead at the thing, he can see it.
Okay. See, I just thought he was bullshitting his way through this. I'm like, how are you bullshitting?
I did too at first.
But at the same time, too, when you check the eye thing, that you check the fucking lights over, you do peripherals. So
he must have just given him the fucking stand at this line, look at this. What's that? What's the smallest letter you can read? Gimmick.
But that's
basically he got a sports physical to save lives.
Yeah, which. Come on.
Probably didn't even get his balls grabbed.
Come on, LA County fucking lifeguards. You got to do a better job with your fucking physicals.
Get your shit together.
You shouldn't be going to specialists at UCLA. But we're not there yet. Where we are at is me making an apology because when I first talked about this episode on like 10 Bell Pause episode, I thought this. I remember this episode going down very differently. I thought this was the episode where CJ fell in love with a small person from the circus. I forgot that there's a different circus episode of Baywatch's Run.
Jesus fucking Christ.
CJ. So, like, I didn't realize, like, oh, shit, this is the one where she falls in with John D. Court. So there's
a different midget.
The Baywatch circus episode, they kind of flow together. It's just this is the one that has Giant Gonzalez in it.
Yeah.
So
instead of a midget, there's a tall man.
So listeners of 10 Bell Pod, this is my retraction.
Same guy running the show, though.
Same guy running the show.
Also has a permit.
Absolutely. And then, of course, they're riding a horse on a beach, which I don't know is
still. But, I mean, he's in her jurisdiction now, so she lets it go. I mean, that's just corruption, but, that's on a lower level, I would think.
It's corruption for romance.
Yeah. And they go to a lovely little picnic. Mm-hmm. Where he pours her A&W root beer into a wine glass, into a martini glass, really.
I mean, then
no, the only thing I can take from it is that she's on duty or straight edge. So,
which, if you know anything about Pam Anderson in the 90s, she is not straight edge. Yeah. Okay, like not. That is for sure one thing she's not. But one thing we can't really decipher is whether or not Giant Gonzalez is saying driftwood or grapefruit. Like I couldn't tell what he was looking for.
I like to believe that he thinks that wood is a grapefruit.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I've carved all these pelicans out of grapefruits.
Mm-hmm. And apparently Venezuelan Bruno Lauer is drunk and Hobie is able to go spend the fucking day with old Manny out on the town, and that's when the song
"Fuck You,
no,
fuck this."
You. I knew this would cause an argument.
Fuck this
you.
show.
Fuck you. This is why this fucking show is awesome. Fuck you.
Fucking Christ.
No, fuck you, Zane Riley.
Fuck. The whole way this part goes down is the creepiest goddamn thing.
They wrote this fucking song for this fucking episode. They created original fucking music for this fucking episode.
Because no one else would write a goddamn song about a pelican man.
Fucking right they won't, because it doesn't fucking apply to anything else other than this fucking thing right here.
Because people don't like fucking pelicans. Because that kind of person doesn't fucking exist.
Well, maybe you and me can't be fucking friends.
That's fine.
Because, you know what? To quote the fucking song, everyone needs a friend, even the Pelican Man. Yes! Yes, we do! And even him! That is what should be on the fucking shirt.
It's going to have to be.
That is what the fucking needs to be on the shirt.
It's going to at least say the Pelican Man.
It's going to be everybody needs a friend, even the Pelican Man.
It's not so much this song. I mean, it does not help. But the rest of this is just the child failing awfully at carnival games and then tugging on Giant Gonzalez like some sort of Frankenstein's monster to fucking play the game for him. That guy's an inside shooter. Mm-hmm. He knows the deals.
Yeah, he knows
He's
the
out
tricks.
here winning them all.
Yeah.
And each time he wins, he hands the kid the prize and then looks at him like he's about to eat him. Wide-eyed, like I have no clue why I am here. I will devour this child now.
Because fucking Venezuelan Bruno Lawler is drunk and this is his only friend that he has, and now he's a new friend. Because everybody needs a friend, even the Pelican Man.
So does he go around town to town just befriending small children?
No, this is the first one. This is the first time with his friend. First time. Yes, he knows all the tricks. Although I would have loved to seen one that he gets because he's super tall and lanky.
Yeah.
Like the basket, he should have just reached over and dropped it in. Yeah. That's what he should have done.
It should have been all of them.
Yeah, it should have been all of them in that, but like the fact that he's really good at the frog game.
Or like one where like he obviously failed, but then the person was so scared of him he handed over the prize anyway.
Yeah, that would have been a good one too.
Yeah, he could have won some of them, but some he should have like the ball throw where he had to knock the cans over. Like, he should have missed, but then jumped up and down, and they fell over. Stupid shit like that. I mean, but he's the Pelican Man. He can do what the fuck he feels, I suppose.
Friends. Everyone needs
Pelican
a friend.
Man. Do they write new songs for everyone in every episode?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that was like an ongoing gimmick of theirs.
Yeah, sometimes they craft fucking original songs that speak to the actual situation and emotional tenor of the situation.
All right.
That's why fucking Baywatch was one of the #1 fucking shows in the entire world at one point in time.
Not because of the titties.
Well, I mean, that helped.
Yeah, definitely.
There. And also, too, Michael Newman, fucking...
Oh, M. Nooms.
Fucking genuine fucking badass.
Yep.
You know? Just fucking saying. So, this is where we find out more about Court's blindness, which is very, very oddly selective. Almost like I feel like it's made up. So,
is this where we're at? We're in Hasselhoff's office? And Pamela's complaining about.
Yes.
So
let's unpack this. Because I think I know you were going. I'll go ahead.
So
I'll give you this. I will fucking give you this, but you will not besmirch the good name of
all
the composer.
Of a sudden.
Okay.
All of a sudden, we're gonna forget that fucking old Court here rides a fucking horse, and we're gonna talk about how he almost hit somebody on his motorcycle that she was riding on. We're just gonna forget Apache's around. What the fuck? Did they just blow it? Did they just fuck up and like, does he drive a motorcycle or a horse? Motorcycle? Fucking put it in there. Because this is the first time we've heard anything of a horse, of a motorcycle.
He's that much of a badass. There's only two forms of transportation. Is a horse and a motorcycle.
Which I feel that if he almost hit somebody on this motorcycle, this is the scene we should have gotten rather than him knocking over root beer out of wine glasses. We should have seen him almost eat somebody's breakfast on a motorcycle. Or the horse. I mean, this is just as dangerous, as we've established.
I thought you were going to go in a different direction on the scene because I saw it a little bit differently.
Okay.
I bought that he's such a badass that he has a horse and a motorcycle. Now, how he got both of them into town at the same time?
Yes!
Like, with a pickup truck.
Which leads which?
Yeah, like... If you said his pickup truck and he had a trailer, he brought the horse, that all makes sense. I don't know if you're really hooking up a trailer that can haul a horse.
Or a horse hauling a motorcycle.
Yeah, I don't know how that all works, but I'm going to allow it. I will allow it in Baywatch world. But when she goes, we're talking about, Mitch, I think he's blind. And Mitch is like, yeah, I know. And then she's just like, yeah, but also... Here's this other situation where I think he's blind. I was like, what's the also?
Yeah.
That's just like in continuation.
Yeah. We've confirmed.
You've said that he's blind. He's like, yeah, I know. She goes, but also Mitch.
Mitch's like, bitch, I didn't argue.
Yeah, the but also?
Who's she expecting I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. The but also is like, they're like, oh, there's something else going on other than blindness?
Also, he's on meth.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what the but also
that's be a whole new issue.
Should have implied is like, but also this blindness is just the tip of the iceberg of this fucking man.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Don't get it.
But Mitch knows a guy.
Yeah, knows a guy.
Mitch knew a guy when that bitch had cancer.
Also, too, fucking
Mitch knows everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, LA County lifeguard. Flashing that badge around. You're going to get some good doctors. Also, too, he knocks down Court.
Which is a real good scene. Yeah, that's fun.
Let's not forget that.
That was probably legitimately the most fun of this whole thing.
Just, if
your eyes weren't fucked up, you'd have seen that coming. I don't know, man. You were real close.
Yeah.
You were real close.
Also, too, you're my goddamn friend. I didn't expect you to fucking hit me. Like, if you and I are just hanging out watching TV and you just, like, fucking pounce me, you wouldn't be like, well, if your eyes were working, you would have fucking saw. No, motherfucker, you're my friend, and in my house, I didn't expect you to fucking pounce me.
You wouldn't think, like, I couldn't just be like, hey, you see that? See what? Hey, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and then slap me across the face.
Yeah. I couldn't just get your attention some other way other than knock you the fuck out.
Yeah.
And brother goes down hard.
Hard.
He eats shit into the side of that desk.
And Mitch just like pats him with it. He
Yeah.
didn't even like swing hard. Like he didn't like come at it like fucking Ice Cube onto Debo, like from fucking downtown. He didn't come that way with it. So yeah, that all happened. Yeah. So then we get to Manny underneath the pier in his carving workshop.
Learn the story of his dad.
Yeah, the story of his dad. And then, of course, Hobie's like, why are you still around, fucking Brazilian Bruno Lauer? And, like, and Manny's just like, what else am I going to do? And I'm like... And he's just like, I can't do anything else. Motherfucker, you have a workshop.
Yeah.
Now, granted, your workshop gets washed away every time high tide comes in because it's underneath the fucking pier. I'll give you that.
But somehow you managed to build a workshop.
You build a
in which to build other fucking pelicans.
You clearly have a skill that require you can do other work because you have a workshop that you have to rebuild every time high tide comes through. So... I don't know where it's like, what else am I supposed to do?
Well, don't be a teacher, that's for sure.
That is for sure. You have a trade. You have a skill. And you're just like, I don't have any trades or skill. And all of a sudden, like, Hobie's like, wood carving's a skill. And he goes, is it?
Yeah. I've just always done this.
Yes. But then we get the UCLA doctor and... The doctor trying to preserve doctor-patient confidentiality, and court's like, nah, Mitch's family. Come on in.
Yeah. Mitch is cool, man. I mean, what's the worst could be happening right now?
No, I'm going blind, and there's no cure for it, and this guy's my future employer? Oh, great. I rescind that invitation to hear my medical records.
We have to sue you now, Mitch. You understand.
I have to sue you. And then, of course, they cue the soap opera music into commercial break.
So, does every episode have something tragic occur? With Mitch, his friends, because old girl had cancer. This guy's blind forever now.
Well, or
am I just lucking up?
You are seeing key episodes.
Okay.
Of Baywatch,
and all of them end in tragedy.
Hence why the pro wrestler episodes are so important to Baywatch. They are the key episodes. Listen, I'm their target demographic, and I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. They've got to put a wrestler in to ensure that I'm going to watch the program. And to ensure that I continue to watch the program, they give us the juiciest of nuggets of storylines in the wrestler episodes.
Oh.
So
you'll come back.
I will come back now to see what happens with John D. Court. Yeah, with John D. Court, which we will get into at the end of this episode.
Fucking Lord.
No, you're going to want to fucking hear this.
All right. Did you look up this eye disease?
I did not look up this eye disease.
Okay. I don't have signal in your house, so I would.
No. And I will need you to vamp for time because I forgot to print off something.
Okay.
Because I'll have to read it from my phone, though.
Okay.
Trust me. So when we get to that point, I'm going to have you vamp a little bit for time.
Great.
And
you should have caught me on something else. Okay. I got it.
Trust me. It's going to be fucking good. It will be fucking worth it.
All right.
The few seconds that you'll have to vamp.
Okay.
We're not there. So that's I just find it. I have a little note in here that it's confusing me, but now I think I got it. It's just talking about how CJ, a lifeguard, is dating a guy who's going blind. That's so. Such poetic.
It's something.
It's poetic. It's very ironic. It's beautifully written. So beautiful. I mean, and then of course Court's like, she doesn't deserve a blind man. But as I just referenced earlier, she falls in love with a midget.
Yeah.
In a different circus episode.
Her view is skewed here when it comes to love.
But see, here's the thing. if you're a young kid like me who feels very awkward, he's got ugly looking glasses, he's got hair that's going to fall out anyways, and that's probably the best thing that happens to him, and your name is Jacob Falfahucken, and you feel like an outcast, you feel like a misfit, but yet you're seeing the beautiful and gorgeous Pamela Anderson fall in love with a misfit, a blind man.
He ain't going to be seeing much longer.
A midget. It gives you hope.
Yeah.
It gives you hope.
Tommy Lee, just all kinds of scum.
And then it's thing, even in real life, Tommy Lee, old hepatitis Tommy Lee.
Yeah. Hepatitis Lee.
Gives you fucking hope. That's what this show does. It provides tremendous musical soundtrack and hope.
Jesus, fuck me.
Then we cut to Manny on a pier. And
we gotta go back. In this scene here, we hit so many bad seeing puns that is just fucking terrible. We were shy of I didn't see that coming. It was the only other one. And then he's total fuckboy about all of this. At first, she's like, last week you wanted to stay with me forever. And he's like, that's this week, though. Jesus.
Well, he's got to be tough. He's got to push her away. Because she deserves better. Even though she's going to hook up with the midget.
Yeah.
She's going to hook up with the midget.
He's clearly disposable.
Yeah. So, just saying. But then we cut to Manny on the pier. And the most stereotypical gang members come up and scare Manny to fall over the edge.
All they wanted was a Pepsi. Just one Pepsi. And Mom wouldn't let me.
Nope. Not at all. And then Hoff and the Newman save the day.
Yeah. Which Manny could stand up.
Yeah.
He's tall enough to stand under that. He's lived under that pier for days.
His workshop is just right over there in the water.
He could just grab onto that.
Yeah, he could just grab onto his... Yeah, it's just
There's
floating right by.
There's a wooden pelican coming through here soon. I got that guy.
My whole workshop is just being washed out to the ocean right now. I'll just grab one of these wood pelicans as a life preserver, and I'm fine. If anything, Mitch, you diving in, you're gonna hit some of my tools. You're gonna hit my fucking lathe. You're gonna knock your head real hard.
My hand chisel. It's ruined because of you, Mitch.
For you jumping off. Come on, Mitch. But this episode, we get to CJ in the locker room, and fucking that outfit, her outfits over this whole episode.
This odd aerobic flowery thing.
Yeah. They're just all over the place, and I fucking love it. Yeah. And then, he slams the door, and she goes, "Stop it, you're scaring me." I'm like, well, he's just slamming something. It's not...
He's making sure his hearing still works, sweetheart.
Pam, I know this is pre-Tommy Lee. You're going to get scared a lot more than that. If you're scared by this...
That's a locker door with a tricky lock on it. That catch doesn't always get right. You got to slam it sometimes.
There's going to be a lot scarier things coming in your future.
It's like fucking Tommy Lee's leg dick.
One of your husband's best friends killed a man, so...
We're not even gonna follow that up with an allegedly.
It was in court. Yeah. He did community service for it. I believe there's a plea of guilty, so I don't think it's slander. I'm pretty sure it's not slander because it's factual.
They're not listening.
Listen, if Judd Nelson was able to say it in Airheads, I'm allowed to say it on this podcast.
Okay, fair enough.
Vince Neil killed a man. Hey. That's something that's said. He didn't say allegedly.
The classic Airheads defense.
Fucking Judd Nelson flat out said Vince Neil killed a man. Didn't say allegedly at all. He just fucking said it because he could.
Because it could. Because it happened.
Because it fucking happened. Because
Vince Neil killed a man.
So Court just kind of pushes CJ away, and he's just like, nah, I got shit I got to do. Yeah. I'm going blind, and being with you, the woman who I love, is not one of the things I want to do.
I just don't see us working out.
Great fucking writing. Fucking great writing. Great writing. Great.
Now,
I just saw fucking Mike Birbiglia do a show that's full of shit like that. I'm just saying Mike Birbiglia could fucking write a Baywatch episode.
Oh, I would probably watch that one.
So,
here's where I disagree. Okay. If I'm gonna go blind, and I've got Pam Anderson wanting it right now, why wouldn't you stay with her? Why wouldn't you be with her so you get her at the hot times? Then, when age does what age does, she kind of goes a little downhill. You're going blind. You won't fucking know. She'll still be. She loves you so much. She'll be taking care of you. What the fuck? What's wrong with you?
Yeah. It's a fucking win-win.
It is win-win.
You're gonna see her during her hottest times, and when the lights start going
when
out
barbed
for
wire
you,
happens, and then
when the lights are going up for you, and barbed wire happens, buddy,
you're set, you're saved. But no, you just want to be a bitch about it.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, that is best case scenario.
Yeah, that's exactly what you fucking want to do. But we'll get into what John Court does in a little bit. But once we get to the stand,
Pelican Man stand,
the Pelican Man stand, and all of a sudden, like, Manny's like, oh shit, I fucking realized what my fucking talent is. I do have a skill. And then they talk about Manny breaking away from Guadalajara and Harvey Whippleman. And basically said he sat on him.
Sat on him. You gonna sit on him anytime sooner?
Yeah.
They do kind of just let him go. He must have only been there for like 20 minutes. He must have done some real fucked up shit on set. And they're like, we'll finish him off on after post. Let's get him out of here.
Yeah. He probably did some fucking romancing of the stone.
And now all of a sudden, old Hasselhoff's all cool to break out some money on a fucking Pelican.
Yeah.
And they don't want to pay $1 to see this man. Now you can pay all this money for a Pelican.
Well, I mean,
given it's a good Pelican.
Yeah, for sure. He picked up a good one, probably one of the better ones.
But you know what he didn't do?
What?
Asked to see his goddamn permit.
Because he'd be a street peddler. That is a good point. That's a very good fucking. And you're gonna have to deal with him long after this fucking circus fucking leaves the pier.
It would have been a real fucked up scenario after that, where he's like, "I'm gonna see your permit." He's like, "Oh, I don't have a permit." And then they're like, "All right, well, I'm gonna call the cops." And then he's deported. Be real fucked up. All because Mitch Buchanan's a piece of shit.
Yeah, but you know what? Those type of storylines, that's for Baywatch
That brought you back.
That's Baywatch Nights. Baywatch Nights. That's where it gets dark.
Oh, God.
And then fade out. The Hoff is singing the end credits. Won't you reach out? Take hold of man. Take hold of my hand. Won't you reach out? Won't you reach out? And I'm caught in the current of love. I fucking love Baywatch. I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm going to need you to vamp right here, right now.
Okay.
Tell the listening audience your entire thoughts, and I'm going to go uninterrupted.
Okay.
You're going to go I'm going to give you, because I was not 100% prepared.
Okay.
I was very Ben Stacey'd for this fucking episode. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to discuss your thoughts on this episode of Baywatch.
All right.
Uninterrupted without me yelling at you, fuck you, you're wrong.
Okay.
I'm going to give you those seconds because we're friends. Okay? All right. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a podcast within a podcast. This podcast being called Wrestling with Baywatch. I am your host, Zane Riley. I am not a fan of Baywatch. I've never really watched it other than these episodes. Holy shit, you're already back. I was just in the beginning of it.
I'll give it the time.
This shit sucks, man. Don't buy into the hype. It's not what you remember. Don't live in your nostalgia. You're better than that. You're not sheep. Before the man takes me away and cuts off my microphone, hindering my freedom of speech. Shit, he's back. I gotta go.
I'm back in. You son of a bitch. You ran out of fucking time.
Baywatch was an inside job.
Now, after we've discussed everything, we unfortunately know what happened to Giant Gonzalez. He passed away.
Yeah. We did a whole podcast. You did a whole podcast about it. I didn't do one podcast about it.
Which inspired this podcast. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy that we took the time to talk about it and honoring Giant Gonzalez even more, because I think it was a kind of a sleeper hit for 10 Bell Pod.
Yeah.
And I think this episode is
because he was the worst wrestler ever, but everyone loves Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah, he was the fucking best.
Everybody loves him.
Such a fucking cool dude.
Yeah. Carved the fuck out of a pelican.
And of course, this episode is not a sleeper hit. It's a continual hit because we do nothing but put out hits here, especially when we discuss Baywatch. And we're going to discuss it a little bit further. Because as I said...
So is this Wrestling with Baywatch Dark?
Yes. This is
Baywatch Nights?
This is How Did This Get Booked Nights. Because, as I said before, John D. Cord is a recurring character. And this is where he kind of dips back in.
He goes off to be blind.
Yeah, he goes off to be blind. Now... he comes back because, like I said, that he endeared himself to the crowd, to the crew and the writers and everybody that ran the show, because he spent all that time when the show was not at its most successful. So obviously everybody liked him. They would bring this character of John D. Court back. Now obviously there's a lot of weight to the character now, and there's a lot of progression. So let me tell you what happens. Actually, the character of John D. Court comes back in season 5, and when he comes back, he basically talks Mitch Buchanan into doing a dune buggy race in Mexico with him.
Wait, he doesn't have eyes.
Which is why he's talking Mitch Buchanan into coming to help him drive the cart. But actually, this dune buggy race is a front for him to smuggle rare artifacts into the United States.
I'm back on board with old Court.
Yep, and I find it funny. It's rare artifacts. Don't you mean drugs? You
Yeah.
mean drugs.
You mean drugs?
That would.
You mean wooden pelicans with drugs in them?
Yeah, that's really what you're smuggling into the country in this dune buggy race. But because he's going blind, he needs somebody to help him. Mitch feels bad. He guilts him into it. Mitch finds out.
Because Mitch Buchanan, dune buggy enthusiast.
Yes, and then of course Mitch Buchanan finds out. Oh shit, you're smuggling. I'm gonna lose this badge. I won't be able to check people's permits anymore.
I'm not gonna be the hottest shit on the beach anymore.
Now, the character of John D. Court comes back later in season 5.
Wait, he didn't go to prison?
Apparently not. Apparently, Mitch Buchanan was able to set the record straight, was able to put John D. Court on the straight and narrow, but he did not see sunny times because, as you remember, he's going blind.
Oh, shit. We got something to talk about. Back to that here in a moment. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So they do that moment at the very end where him and Mitch are sitting around talking about how he's only got so many sunsets left to look at. Mm-hmm. And they're looking off. When they're looking from behind, there's a sunset going on. When facing them, it is noon. It is fucking daylight. And then we switch over to Giant Gonzalez walking around on the pier. It is also daytime. They do not have time set up properly. It's sunset and daytime at the same time.
Sure, it's not sunrise.
He's talking about sunsets. I would hope not. Unless they went to like a...
Sunset, sunrises, horses, motorcycles. You can't be bogged down by the details. But...
Baywatch is an inside job.
Later in season 5.
God.
John D. Court makes his return to Baywatch. Now at this time...
Born again Christian.
You got any other guesses? Let me give you 2 more.
For real, 2 more? Life jacket salesman?
No.
Oh, no. Jet ski salesman.
No.
Nope.
One more.
Tour boat operator.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You are somewhat in the ballpark, but you're still outside.
Eye doctor.
You're still outside buying souvenirs. You have not worked your way into the ballpark, but you are on the grounds of the ballpark.
Okay.
Now, at this moment in time of season 5, CJ is now dating Matt Brody.
That midget thing didn't work out?
Not yet.
Still got some time.
Matt is no longer with Summer. He's now with CJ.
Oh, you know.
And in this episode, where John D. Court arrives again in season 5, Matt and CJ find John D. Court, now homeless and almost completely blind, living under her lifeguard tower.
Wait.
In which CJ questions his presence and is also brings up a slight case of jealousy in Matt.
Wait, Matt's jealous of a homeless person?
Who is blind.
A blind homeless person?
Living underneath CJ's tower.
How did she not know he was there?
That's another... You gotta watch the episode, my friend. Meanwhile, Kay introduces Mitch and Hobie to Nick, a 10-year-old boy dying from leukemia, and is...
What wrestler is in this fucking episode?
I don't know, but it's definitely a key episode. And Nick is dying from leukemia and desperately needs a bone marrow transplant within 48 hours. Mitch and Court attempt to track down Nick's older brother, Jamie.
Wait, hold on.
You hold on, because Jamie is an archaeological diver who has been kidnapped with his wife by a drug lord and his men looking to find a stash of narcotics in a wreckage 100 feet on the ocean floor.
Hold on now.
I told you it'd be worth it.
Okay, so. Wait. This all happens in 42 minutes?
Yes, it does. That's why it's the fucking #1 show in the world.
Hold on now. Drug smugglers.
Yes.
So all I can figure happened is the way that Court knows these people is that the salvage diver got a bunch of antique artifacts.
Yes.
He then took the drugs from the drug lord, put one inside the other, and then was just smuggling them around. And that's how he just knows everybody, right?
It's got to be.
Gotta be.
Gotta be.
There's too many coincidences in other seasons for this to occur.
Because why would Mitch Buchanan need to bring a blind man along to find an archaeological diver?
Yeah. A man that uses his eyes as a profession.
Yes. But that archaeological diver is needed for is needed for a bone marrow transplant for his brother who's dying of leukemia, who he doesn't realize is dying from leukemia and needs the bone marrow transplant in 48 hours.
Jesus Christ. Whatever. What episode and season is that?
I see it. I got you in. This is what Baywatch does.
I'm gonna be bad about it. I'm not gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be like, think that changed my life. No.
This is like I said, this episode that we discussed today, it's a key episode.
I want to see the obscurity of this man's downward spiral.
You got to see this episode, and then it hooks you for those other episodes. This hooks you on most of season 5.
Vince Russo write this one too?
Fucking Vince Russo wishes he fucking wrote something this fucking good. Goddamn Eric Bischoff wishes he wrote something this good, or else he'd still be managing SmackDown.
That's why they gave Bruce Pritchard his job.
Yeah, exactly, because Bruce Pritchard would have got this right, and so would Mike Birbiglia.
And for those who's listening, it's very topical at the time as we recorded this almost a month ago from when you're hearing it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm all Baywatched out. Get me the fuck out of here.
For right now. Right, we still got the Shawn Michaels, Debbie Reynolds episode. I think there might be one or two more yet, but we're gonna circle back to Baywatch.
Be on the lookout for our other podcast, Baywatch. The podcast.
How did this get booked? Nights.
We should do a How did this get booked nights? It's only Baywatch podcast. But it's like, we should do it, our new favorite podcast, Crime and Sports style, where you have all the information and you just fucking tell me about it and I just react.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And of course, we won't have a silver-haired white man. No. We'll just have a hairy chest white man.
Yep.
Middle-aged, hairy chest white man who comes in and saves the day for everybody.
Yeah.
So.
But we'll have characters to ask, how did you arrive here?
Mm-hmm. How did you come to arrive here? Just get on Crime and Sports, guys.
Yeah, welcome to our 45-minute podcast, but I actually listen to a different podcast.
Most people are on Small Town Murder, but why do you want to hear people who are not famous doing shitty things when you can hear about fucking famous people, Super Bowl winners, people who had the world in the palm of their hand and they fucked it all up?
The newest episodes are Dennis Rodman and BJ Penn. I would listen to Dennis Rodman. I'm really excited about BJ Penn.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Dennis Rodman yet.
Good.
I'm looking forward to it. I just listened to Doc Gooden.
It's a 3-hour piece too. Oh, there's a Doc Gooden. Oh,
yeah, that came out last week. So just check out Crime and Sports, but also too, most importantly, check out us.
Yeah, please.
I
doubt they're putting us over on their podcast, even though they just did the comedy festival here that you missed.
I fucking missed an opportunity to meet them.
Yeah, and
I'm very upset about that. But I did email them and let them know whatever research they need for the wrestling episodes, because they got fantastic wrestling episodes. So if I can check out all of those.
I finished Carrie Von Erich this morning on accident. Yeah, but not like it. I just randomly clicked on when it happened to be Carrie Von Erich.
And I've listened to all of the Von Erichs, like the Heroes of World Class, the Viceland piece, all the shoot interviews, and listened to their podcast. I thought was quite good.
Yeah,
and also too, like, one of the guys that runs it and does all the research, he's got a fantastic Fritz Von Erich impersonation. So, if nothing else, there is that. So, I mean, if we have this platform to do nothing else,
just put over good podcasts.
Well, I mean, Crime and Sports is like the one that doesn't get a lot of listens. So, fuck Small Town Murder. Even though it's the same guys, Crime and Sports is where you want to be. Especially if you listen to this podcast, you'll love Crime and Sports. But if there's a Baywatch podcast that you can recommend to me, I will jump all over that shit. I'm looking for a new podcast to listen to. So if anybody knows of a good Baywatch podcast, let me know.
It's called How Does This Get Booked Nights.
And if there isn't, well, there's going to be one very soon called How Did This Get Booked Nights. But for now, if you have any questions about how did this get booked daytime, you can get at me on Twitter or Instagram at ManScoutManning. Do you have anything?
No, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we get the fuck out of here. Email me at manscoutmanning@yahoo.com for any other questions. Go to the howdidthisgetbooked.com for all of my merch. Big thank to Nick Olessa and Gabriel Kidd for leaving reviews. You can get a free How Did This Get Booked t-shirt, or you can buy a How Did This Get Booked t-shirt at howdidthisgetbooked.com. Also, more information about upcoming shows. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, all the places where podcasts are available. And big thank you to SixSquirrelStudio.com, because Don will help you with all of your podcast needs and make it sound gooder. This has been another edition of How Did This Get Booked?
Woo.